Hustle with my muscle cause I'm living off the dollar. Struggle in my huddle so it's Henny or it's vodka. Life is catching up though so we living how we gotta. Stay low key, you know me the same old way I used to be. I stay low key, you know me. I stay on my grind to distract my mind. Yes, back in like folders.
My guest today is a very good friend of mine, very funny comedian. You've seen her all over social medias, all over the stages in New York City, all over the country, all over the DC political comms. One of my favorite people, honestly. Kitty Reynolds.
Social media. She's all over the social medias.
Social medias.
I love it.
Are you on Facebook?
I think I am.
Add her on Facebook, Kitty Reynolds.
Yeah. In a sad way, I think I'm on Facebook.
Yeah,
I don't think I've touched it.
I don't think anyone's on Facebook in a happy way.
Yeah.
That was the lowest energy you've had. Yeah, I'm on Facebook. Fuck.
Fuck.
Thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you to Sephora or Ulta.
Ulta.
So we were saying before, you are the second guest that was occupied at Sephora because we were running late, and that's perfect.
Yes.
That should be like every man, if you're thinking about running late or you're not going to be reliable at a certain time, just make the plans near Sephora or Ulta.
Yes, and I think a lot of people could be tapping into this as a dating pool. I think a lot of men.
The ratio's
There's
crazy.
a lot of lonely dudes these days, and I think
are.
they could really benefit from a little walk around Ulta.
What's your
little
take
lap.
on that? As a woman, you are a woman.
I am.
You're a woman.
Barely, but I am.
Woo! Make some noise for women, everybody.
Woo!
Yes. What's your
Yes.
take on when and where it's okay to be approached? If you're shopping at Sephora, it's a chill vibe in there. It's very zen. You're in your happy place.
Yeah.
If a guy approaches you, does that... I know you are in a committed relationship with a very nice man.
Yeah.
I love him.
He's the best.
Sexually. But if a guy approaches you, would that ruin the vibe or would that uplift it if you were single?
Well, I don't know. I'm not like... I feel like a lot of women easily get annoyed with that. They get annoyed at the cat call. I feel good. It's an ego boost. As long as it's not a weird energy. And I'm not like, this guy's fucking following me around the store and I'm trying to buy blush. And like, this is weird. You know, if there's no stalker vibe, I'm welcome to it.
So like if it's just like a little small talky joke about the moisturizer.
Like I was at a weed shop and a guy came up to me. He's like, you know, you don't have to smoke that alone.
Ooh, I like that.
And I was like, okay, I'm not single, but thanks for the ego boost. Thank you dearly for that. Thought I was losing my sparkle.
That's great.
You know?
My sparkle.
And thought I was losing my youthfulness.
Well, you got the sparkle enzyme.
I got the sparkle enzyme. The listeners don't know. We'll explain in the caption. But yeah, I think that when done well, Ulta or Sephora could be sort of a gold mine.
But what if you then find out he was only there for that reason?
Then that's weird.
But that could be one of those things that you just never find out. And
Right.
like only his boys know, like, you know, on Thursdays I go to Ulta.
Well, this begs a real question. This is actually really topical. There's a lot of discourse on the Hailey Bieber, Justin Bieber, how they got together online right now.
I know nothing about
I'm sure
this.
it's not in your algo. It's more of a feminine algorithmic take. Yeah, thank you. We have the same feed. So basically, people are just getting on Hailey's case because there's a digital footprint of her being interested in Justin for her whole life and her being a fan of his. And it begs the question, like, is that separate of her relationship now, or is it all like, is it weird?
I feel like at a certain point after knowing someone for a while, it's disconnected.
Right. Now they have a kid.
Yeah.
So now it's null and void, I feel.
Yeah, I feel like what do you think the number is? I think if you date someone or know someone for over a year, I think then the fandom is kind of lost.
Yeah, if you could stick it out for the year and...
You know, like his idiosyncrasies, he leaves the toilet seat up.
Right, you're not fanning anymore.
No, you're annoyed
you
by him.
could have gotten the ick and you didn't.
Yeah.
You could have left. You're still there.
She probably has a lot of stuff she doesn't like about him because couples have that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably the real thing. Like if it's a partner that loves everything about you and doesn't care about how you treat them and stuff like that, then that's probably shouldn't be together.
Right. It's fascinating stuff.
But isn't she also like a famous model?
Right now she's got her own career.
Yeah.
I think she models. She's got her beauty brand that's like actually doing very well.
And wasn't she? I actually have seen a clip because I'm a little bit of the feminine algorithmic.
That's nice. That's nice.
Ally. And she's Alec Baldwin's niece?
Yes, I believe that is the lineage.
So she could have met any famous person.
Right, and also everyone has a crush. Like everyone has a celebrity crush. And if you're our age, which she's probably my age, I'm 29, she's probably around this cohort, I was not a big believer, but like I was still like, yeah, I'd fuck Justin. if I found myself on a red carpet and we locked eyes, I could close. I'll close.
You say that like my Long Island uncle, but you're talking about fucking Justin. Yeah, he got a nice set on him. I'd give him the piece.
Pretty good cock on the guy. I'll see what he's all about. You give him a chance. See what's going on.
This is what I love about Kitty. You go from like angelic, like sweet little child to like your Long Island auntie real quick.
I do it.
You have like, I don't know, I think I've told you this probably drunk once, but I was like, you're the mix of like childlike joy and like such aunt vibes.
Thank you so much.
I mean that very complimentary.
That's how I feel as a person. I feel like this pull of I'm an elderly woman and a little boy as well. Like, I think a lot of my following is young men, with like from 18 to like 24.
Hell yeah.
And what does that say about me? We don't know. We don't know, but
Tell
hey,
us in the
thanks for
comments.
being here, lads. Thanks for being here. Don't go on DraftKings, watch my feed. That's a healthier thing to do.
Maybe you should get a sponsor from like Gamblers Anonymous.
Oh my God. Yeah, because I don't like the DraftKings stuff, dude.
No?
Here's the thing is like, DraftKings, I don't judge people who are, engaging with it, but it's a very slippery slope. Obviously, it's gambling. And as an Italian, who knows many people with gambling addictions, it being on your phone is fucking insane.
And it makes it feel like a video game.
Right. I was addicted to vaping and I'd have to go down the street to get that. Like and I even thought that was crazy. The fact that there were 3 smoke shops on my block. I'm like, how am I ever going to fucking get over this,
That and vape, you can vape anywhere.
Right. It's
Except
like a
for
flask.
here, Chris will kill us.
Right.
But you could vape inside. At least with cigarettes, you have to go outside. You have to make a big thing. I'm going out to smoke a cigarette. Vape, you could just be like.
That's why I haven't crossed the vape line with weed. Because
smart.
That's a slippery slope for your girl. I got to keep it ceremonial.
Ceremonial.
It's like I got to pack the bowl. This is, maybe. No, Instagram doesn't censor anymore. We're fine.
Well, this isn't going to be posted.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good.
This is just, I'm going to send this to DraftKings and be like, hey, arrest this woman.
Perfect. You've got a big hater. You find her.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not trying to connect people. I'm trying to divide. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's the point of this whole podcast.
Divisiveness is really the moment.
It's also the way to power.
It is.
If you want like a real fan base, you got to be a piece of shit. No offense.
You really do.
You do have a real fan base, but they're 18 to 24-year-old boys.
Right. They're young.
They're young. They don't know better.
Innocent. They're just like, oh, I don't know what they think of me.
Am I
like a hot grandmother to them? I don't know what the pull is.
Do you have any serious theories for why you're so marketable to young boys?
I think
makes it sound predatorial.
No,
Correct.
It really is. Like it feels that way a little bit.
Young. You also said that like
did.
you're interrogating her, and you look like a detective from the 1980s.
Hey, so what's with all the young boys?
Where's these little guys running around? It's like Pizzagate, whatever.
Kittygate.
That's the thing too. Like at my shows, like these young guys will come. Like these groups of young guys. I'm like,
that's
awesome.
awesome.
Thanks for coming, guys. But no, my theory is, and also it's so funny. People are like, my little brother loves your content. I'm like, thanks. You didn't say you.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck me.
Just lie.
But, say you and your brother.
Yeah. My family loves you.
Right.
Best compliment.
Right. But I guess I have an audience. But my theory is just because I'm a not PC content creator, and I think that age group is very like. Some of them are radicalized, but a lot of them are very pro meme culture, pro humor. Like, I think they probably are on different feeds than I'm on, but like, I'm not a Telegram girl, but I think because I speak a little loosely, that's like, there's not many women who talk like me, I think, on Instagram. So they're like, oh my God, the last liberal who's not PC. And they're like excited about that. Because that's a generation that is very... And stop me when I talk too much.
No, I'm loving this.
That's a generation that's like super socially liberal that is like, can we just talk again?
Yes.
Can we just speak?
Yes.
Like, we get it. Like, we did this whole thing, and they're younger, so that was at like a more pivotal point in their academic life. So they got like serious kind of like talks about it in school.
Yeah.
They're like, we fucking know.
It's gone
like,
full circle.
right. Similar to how we got, I think, at a certain point with when people were like, I'm colorblind. Like, it's almost like, I think we go in like cycles of like, are we racist or are we not? Are we racist or are we not? It's like, we're always racist for all time. How do we want to talk about it?
Well, when you put it this way, I never even thought about it like that. Now that you mentioned this whole like social, economic, political spectrum, you could probably run for president in 10 years.
Could be fun. Could be fun.
I would vote for you.
Here's the thing is I was a political girlie.
Were you?
Like in my past life, like I was trying to do political comms. I was trying to be a speechwriter.
Well, you lived in D.C.
Yeah, I lived in D.C.
Okay, let's straddle this in here.
Okay.
Because
Sorry, I had my coffee.
No. I want to get back to that, but I am very curious of your path because I feel like, we know each other, but we don't. You're one of those people, and I feel like you have this effect on a lot of people, which is a testament to your character and your energy. I feel closer to you than I actually am. Does that make sense?
I think I have a parasocial relationship with everyone. Like, I don't think I have any. Like, I think my boyfriend's the only person that I genuinely like chat with.
I don't think he even knows you.
I don't think because I'm just very like, especially with comedy, I'm so in and out.
Yeah.
I'm just like, hey guys, bye.
Yeah, but you have great energy. It's authentic to your energy. So it's just like, oh yeah, I love Kitty. Yeah, we go way back. What's her last name? I don't fucking know.
Right. It's just like I know her a lot over time.
Yeah, which is a
builds
testament.
Trust.
It does.
Because I am consistent.
You are very
It's
consistent.
like I show up cheery and people are like, okay, she's not faking it.
Yeah.
It's been 5 years of me knowing her. Like, it's not fake.
Yeah. But that is a testament to like how good your vibes are.
Thank you. Thank you so
But
much.
so how did this start? The political stuff. It was obviously before comedy.
Yeah.
So you're from Strong Island.
I'm from
I know
Strong
that.
Island. For background, my mom's a sociologist. So this
They're gonna say, for background, my mom's a sociopath.
she's a fucking sociopath. She's like a professor. So I've always been very like social sciencey. So when I was in school, I studied sociology.
I've always been very sociology.
I'm like left brain, whatever. Left brain, right. I don't know which brain it is.
I don't even. Can I be real with you? I don't know what sociology is, and I think I took that class in college.
It's the study of society.
Okay.
So it's like instead of psychology, which is like the study of the brain, like you as an individual, it's like how do we act when we're all together. So I loved that, and I also like studied writing. I was a writing minor. So I was like, oh, boom, I'm going to combine all my loves, like poli-sci, soc, like kind of all that
Jazz.
interesting academic-y, cerebral, like language-y type stuff, and my love for writing. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to be a speechwriter. Like, I love public speaking. I can kind of like, I love to write. It's always been like, whenever I have free time, that's what I do. I'm sure a lot of us are the same.
Were you like this as a kid too? Like, were you the class clown, or you were never afraid to speak?
I was class clown probably until puberty. And then I started worrying about the male gaze. And I was like, oh, I have to laugh at the boys' jokes. I'm not going to make my own jokes.
And
I want Shane to like me.
Yeah.
So
fuck you, Shane.
Yeah. So I was like a very like vivacious, crazy little chick. And then at puberty, it started to get a little bit like, and I definitely put like,
I hate when that happens.
I started masking my personality a little bit, certainly. But I think that happens to everyone in puberty.
Yeah.
You start off like, and then you grow up a little and you're like, I want to get laid.
Yeah. And then was that a conscious decision, do you think? Where you were like, it was just biological?
It was just getting male attention, and I was loving it. I was loving everything. I was slopping it up.
Slopping it up? You were slopping it up?
I was, like I got to middle school and like got male attention. I was like, oh my God.
This is great.
Sick.
And now you have this following where you still get male attention from 13-year-olds.
Exactly. I'm still living my dream.
Okay, so then you were always kind of like this. Then you masked your personality a little bit for the...
Right. Then so I was always like a cerebral kid. I'm a Ravenclaw for background.
I have no
don't
idea
know
what that means.
if anyone can.
That feels
resonates
like
with anyone.
a flavor of White Claw.
It's if you ever take the Harry Potter sorting quiz, which they should make that a flavor of White Claw. That's a genius
That's a good
idea. The Raven Claw.
Write that down.
It's if you take the official sorting quiz, which is Pottermore for those who understand. By the way, I didn't read the books. This is the official.
Okay.
This is how it goes. You got to take the Pottermore quiz, and you get sorted into your house.
Oh yeah,
and
obviously. Yeah, of course.
And I'm a claw, which means you're like a little bit like you're a little dark. You read books, you know. You're a little like.
But you didn't
write
read
dark
the books.
Poetry. No, I was like a reader as a kid. I was like
okay.
a little kind of nerdy,
All
but
right.
weird. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I got socialized into being a teenage girl. Like, I
Gotcha.
was a little freak, and I was like goth. And
You were goth?
I went to Hot Topic. Yeah,
Kitty was goth?
I was a young goth because I loved Avril Lavigne,
I could see that.
and I was like, whatever that is, I need some of that. You know. So I like went to Hot Topic. I got the bands. Do you remember the bands?
The like dark bands.
And you could take two of the bracelets and like go
Yeah.
like this. And do you guys
Damn.
know what I'm talking about, or am I too old? Okay.
I need a picture of Goth Kitty.
Yeah, I played guitar.
Really?
Wow.
I got to guitar lessons.
Did
That's
you
how
have like
in
the
deep I was.
beads on the sleeves kind of thing? Or, like
Oh
this-
yeah, like and Care Bears, like the full
Care
goth
Bears.
aesthetic, which is goth aesthetic has like some cartoonish, like anime, Care Bear. There's a
See,
softness.
that doesn't make sense to me. The goth is so like, oh, dangerous and scary and me, and then Care Bears.
There's a duality to it. You need to go into Hot Topic.
I think
and
I'm okay.
You'll see there's a lot of like, there's dildos, but there's a lot of inner child stuff.
There's dildos and inner child.
No, I don't know
stuff?
if there's dildos, but there's like BDSM, you know, there's like weird studs
Really?
on thongs.
At
yeah.
Hot Topic?
Unless I'm thinking of Spencer's and
I
I'm
think you're thinking
using my
of-
memory.
Definitely.
But I
Well,
went,
Spencer's is the adult version of Hot Topic.
right. I went into Hot Topic like last week though. And I feel like I saw some spikes and shit. Some weird
Did
stuff.
you cop anything?
No, I didn't get anything.
Yeah, you creep.
But they had some good like jewelry.
He's like, you get any of those inner child dildos?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so you had your goth phase.
So I had my goth phase. So I was like, weird little nerd. Grow up, get to puberty.
Goth
start-
nerd?
little
Sorry.
goth nerd. Collecting rocks, writing poetry, like really.
You lived 1,000 lives.
I know. And then puberty, boys started to like me. I'm like, oh my God, I got to get this in check.
Slobbing it up.
So yeah, I'm slopping it up. I'm sending nudes on a 3G phone.
Were you?
Yeah. 3G,
Were you a nudie
baby.
girl? A nude girlie?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Were you? So you were? Okay, it's gonna get weird for here.
It's
for a
gonna
second.
get weird.
Uh-huh.
Strap in, guys.
I
Hold your
feel
breath.
like when I was in middle school, there's always like two girls that had sent nudes, and these idiot guys showed every guy in the
Yep.
school. Were you a victim of this?
Absolutely.
I'm
the
sorry.
only solitude is it's not is solitude the word?
I'll allow it.
No, the
So
solace.
it's like being alone.
solace is what I'm
Solace.
looking for.
There we go.
The only solace is that I went to a giant high school, so my grade was 700 people.
Mm.
So it was me and like probably the 15 other girls who
Mm.
were sending nudes. Actually, probably everyone did it. So it was like a trend. Like I think because I was like one of the first phone gens, it was like, what? We can
Yeah.
send pictures of ourselves naked. Like you're like, what? And we're like 12 and 13.
Yeah, it's
like,
crazy.
on a flip phone. And imagine, like, it's not weird because it's another 12-year-old asking a 12-year-old. You know, it's
Yeah.
like it's this weird, early.
It's a weird medium.
sexuality where you like it's a weird medium for young puberty and sexuality. And It's
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah.
And I think that like no one knew how to talk about it. Me and my girlfriends, we felt very victimized by it.
Mm.
And even to this day, it like haunts me. But the only good thing is it died on those flip phones. Those are in the sump. dude.
True.
Thank God it wasn't the iPhones. They'd be alive.
Damn.
But they're
Yeah.
gone. They're gone in whatever, SIM card.
So these poor kids these days,
These poor kids.
they're send their innocent nudes to their classmates.
And it's in the cloud.
It's in the fucking cloud.
Poor kids.
These clouds are creeps.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then it gets released, into these weird dark webs. These
Ah.
fucking weirdos.
this is terrible.
I have more on that if you want. I don't even know if
We'll
I
save that for
Okay.
Patreon. Because so
Because we got to get off the dark stuff.
was
We
there
do.
was there a scandal? Like I remember there was I feel like a teacher found out when I was in like middle school, and then it was like a big thing.
We never got found out.
Hell yeah.
I found out there was a big folder going around.
All right,
Yeah,
that
hell
sounded-
yeah,
That was
fucking
gross,
All right.
dude.
sick.
We're gonna cut all of this out.
That's it, yeah. Honestly, the magic will happen in post. Whatever you need to do, you got to do.
You're leaving it all in. I added this.
This is gonna be bleep, bleep, bleep.
I'm gonna put a
8-second
dark,
pause.
dark effect when he says "hell yeah."
Yeah.
We're gonna clip
Hell
that where
yeah.
it's just you like, yeah, and then I got an enzyme, and I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah. The only thing though that saves it from being dark is like, I think that the more people who hear this stuff, then they can better protect their kids because, you know, that's the key to it is parents being aware and being able to say like, hey, young girl who's 12, like, I don't want boys to access you
Yeah.
while you're in your house. Like, and
Because-
being able to protect them.
When we were in middle school, high school, our parents didn't have phones growing up. They would
They
never
didn't know.
think that was a thing.
They wouldn't even, yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
So,
it's-
yeah.
we-
So
all
it's,
right, we
we're
gotta
doing
fix
good.
this. Yeah, I think I
I
agree.
think it's I think we're
this-
doing good.
Haley, what do you think? Okay, thanks. All right, so so then
Nice.
the nude scandal's all good.
All good. Resolved.
Luckily, you're like into politics, so you know how to cover a PR like scandal.
Right.
And then when do you get fully into your sociology activist mode?
So then in college, I was like sorority girl, socializing, living my life, peaking. And like truly, I'll never peak as much as I did in college. And I just started to see like social dynamics in a really specific way that was lining up with the stuff that I was learning. And I was like mouthing, like, I don't know, talking my friends' ears off about these like very casual like social theories. I'm like, oh, like these people are only compatible if they date and they're from the same dorm. And like we got very like, we had these advanced theories. And
That's 18, 19, 20. That's like your peak of activism, philosophical thoughts.
Yeah.
Like you think like you have it all figured. I'm going to fix this. I know I see the world differently. And then I feel like once you leave college, you're like, I don't give a shit anymore.
right. And I also, not to make us dark again, but I I'm a survivor. I'm an SA survivor.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It was my freshman year of college, so it's been 11 years, something like that. So that also broke my brain a little bit and helped me to kind of feel, I think I was organizing my thoughts in a very specific way very quickly in college, and I gained a lot of perspective
Yeah.
from that experience. And so as I was studying Soc and writing, and I was doing my like senior like capstone thesis in writing, I did like a campaign for like sexual assault. And
That's
it was
awesome.
like this cool, it was supposed to be like, if it was real, it would be like a social media campaign with like, it had like cool pictures and flyers and data. And I was like, I like communications. Like I like this, I can help people, I can have a mission, and then through mediums,
Yeah.
whatever that media can be, it can be a website, it can be social media, like I can change people.
That's awesome that you went through that and then pretty soon after was like, I could use this to help
Yeah.
and I know how to do it.
Yeah. I think because I was a creative person too, it was like the way that I was processing it through was with writing and talking to my friends and all that. And I was going to therapy. And so I've always been very like, not to be like sucking myself off, but like I've always been very like mission oriented.
You go from so serious and talking about such a deep subject, and then you go back to the Nassau County uncle right away.
That's the fun, baby. Strap in. It's
Strap in.
strap on and strap in. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
Oh, sorry, suck yourself off.
So sorry, I was just jerking myself off till Liam came in the room.
my bad.
I was just getting a good circle jerk going until you came in. What was I saying? Oh, so I've always been very obsessed with like, that's my mission in comedy too, is like to help young girls, which is the irony that my audience is male.
But that's good too, though, because you could teach them how
I can
not
fix
to
it from
behave.
the other side.
Yeah.
And I think too, like, that's also why I think you say in comedy, like, I have this good energy because, like, from the day one, I was very clear on why I was doing it, and it wasn't for me. And it was like, yeah, I've always wanted to get attention on stage and I've always thought I'd be good at that. But like, I'm here to like change culture. And so like when I'm on stage, I'm just excited to be there and chatting, and it all feels like it's a part of a bigger mission for me. Whereas I think a lot of people are like, well, if I'm not famous and if I'm not making money, like, I'm like, no, I'm good. Like all this is whole. I love, if my life froze today, I'd be happy as a clam.
That's amazing.
Right here. I love it. I love getting to chat with people every night and goofing off on Instagram all day.
Yeah.
And it all feels like in line with my mission. And I think like eventually I'll get to a point where I can make jokes about it that are like good jokes about it. Because I don't want to tell like rape jokes that are fucking retarded.
Oh, you don't want to be
French.
every guy at an open mic?
Yeah. Because I think the R word too is like the harshest word in the English dictionary. Cunt used to be until we really had fun with it the past year or so. But I think the R word is the toughest. And so I don't want to just put it on people on stage because I need to work that out. I want it to be at a point where like when I'm like writing a bigger special, there's a narrative and a story about that and a message that reaches young girls or young boys about consent or self-worth, yada, 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 people pleasing.
And you want to have your craft perfectly honed so that you could do that in the correct way.
Right.
That's awesome.
That's also where people like, I'm not a clean comic. I tell a lot of, fuck it. I'm so dirty on stage, and some people really hate it. And to me, nothing is dirtier than what I've been through.
Yeah.
So for me, dick jokes are a fun way to emasculate a dick. Like, it's a fun way to, like, emasculate men, which to me are very scary.
Yeah.
So for me, dick jokes and all this stuff is just making fun of sex, which is scary and weird. And, people get to do bathroom humor, and that makes that less shameful.
Yep.
Why can't I fucking, like,
and a lot of those people that take such a hard stance on like, you shouldn't be saying this, they end up being the worst types of people that do the actual things.
Right, and they're people who haven't experienced life.
Exactly.
And for them, I say, go find that clean comic that you love. There are so many great comedians, and you will love them. They're not me.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be everyone's cup.
Exactly.
Certainly not.
That's amazing. I love hearing everything you just said, because also it's like you could feel that energy when I see you on stage. You could tell like, oh, she's having a great time.
Yeah.
She's not here like yearning for something, trying to fill a void. Or she's like, and she's not being selfish about it.
Right.
And like I feel like you said, so many comics are just like, it's all selfish. There's like inherited selfishness to the craft in itself.
Totally.
But there's so many people where it's like, they're not realizing that this is a great time.
Yeah, like, how can I make this self-indulgent, really selfish thing? How can I still do it in service to these people that spent time tonight on me? Like, and also, and I hate to get so comedy about this because I'm sure you don't want to talk all about comedy on here, but like,
hey, yeah, let's go back to middle school nudes.
Yeah, that's more riveting. I think like with comedy, we go to so many shows, we forget how special it is a memory for people. Like, they remember that show that they went to 3 years ago, and they're going to tell you when you tell them you're a stand-up comedian, they're like, oh, we went to a show for my, oh my God, it's so rude.
Is that the Little Mermaid?
This was actually to get to the podcast. It should have been an hour ago. I don't know which ringtone it is, but
no, I agree with you. And we can so that's us getting selfish about not realizing how much it means to people. But also we get selfish we get spoiled with great shows where crowds are on fire, where if a crowd's like, okay, we're like, what the fuck is their problem? Whatever. And then I remember a couple of years ago, my friend put it in perspective for me where I had some show and he came to it or whatever. And the crowd was like decent, but they weren't like on fire. And he was like, yeah. A bunch of comics kept saying like we weren't a good crowd. I was like, I was having a great time. Like, it's Tuesday. I just came from work. And I'm like, oh yeah, people are just, they don't see it the way we see it of like, if this isn't fucking Night at the Apollo or this isn't Def Comedy Jam, then this show sucks. Like, no, they're having fun.
Right. And also like the bar is so low. Like most people go to a comedy show because they need something to do with a group or with a date or something. And it's like, okay, when you're on a date or if you're with your in-laws, if you're with a group of people, friends, whoever, if someone else comes and gives some other conversation for 5 minutes, no
Yeah.
matter what, it could be an anti-vaxxer coming in to rant for 5 minutes, you're like, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. So it doesn't matter
Even if you
it's
love
funny
the
or not.
people.
Yeah.
And
Even
then
if it-
5 years from now, you'll be like, I still talk about times like, remember that random guy told me to go fuck myself for no reason?
Right.
And I'm like, that was amazing.
right. It's just such a memory. And like I think people forget, like, we're in the memory making business. We're not in the us business.
Yeah.
Like, and that's so icky on stage. You can just feel it when people
Yeah.
are like so there for them, and you're like, oh my God, like,
Yeah. Or even just the mindset post show or post set where it's like, and I got to catch myself sometimes where I'm like, I want to get to here. I want to get to there. And then I try to remind myself like weekly where I'm like, I'm having so much fun. Just doing like a show, whether it's good or bad, and then hanging out with my friends who are funny people and getting drinks and then
Right.
doing this. Like, this is great.
how lucky are we?
Even if it was like, okay, you will never fully, quote unquote, make it. It's like, this is such a cool thing to do.
Wait, like every night's a Friday for us.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Like when we were at the stand the other night, it was like a Tuesday a few weeks ago, and we were just kind of getting, or I was getting a little tipsy. I was just having fun. I was like, this is the life.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
Yeah. And you're with people that are the funniest people you know.
Right. Could
And
I
you're
have
just-
used an extra laugh here or there? Absolutely. But like, no, it was so.
Were we with Rebecca Reingold? Yes. So it wasn't that funny, but
I'm meeting her after this, by the way.
oh no, gross. Sorry.
Yeah, no one can know about my alliance with Rebecca.
Okay, so you're in college. You're already actively trying to make a difference and using your mediums and your art and everything, and using that to heal what you've gone through and using that to make things better for other people. And then, so are you like, okay, now I'm gonna try to make a career out of this and be a writer?
Yeah, so now I'm like, okay, I'm going to go be a speechwriter. So I go to DC. Well, also, I had like studied in DC for a semester, and I like worked at Treasury as an intern. So like I was kind of a DC girly already. I had my foot in the door with like political comms. And
When you say political comms,
it
I
just-
keep thinking you're gonna say comedy.
oh, yeah.
Political comedy, Daily Show.
I think you were
Political
going to ask me what it is. I was like,
political communes.
that's a whole. Now that's Pizzagate. Um.
No, I generally don't know what political comms are.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's just really any like words that come out of like a political institution's like mouth, if you will. So social media, press releases, news appearances, like
It's
anything.
political communications, basically.
Exactly. So it's like politicians, or a lot of the time it's agencies that get contracted to these politicians. So
Mm.
like for me, my first like gig was at a firm that was like all Obama's people, because like all the comms people at the White House will go and start. And sorry for the listeners who know this, or if I'm being patronizing, I'm sorry.
No, you're teaching me a lesson.
The comms people from every White House, when the administration's over, they'll go and start their own shop. And they'll basically do comms for other politicians, senators, et cetera, Planned Parenthood, like NGOs, nonprofits, corporations.
And
They'll
they'll
do
just-
crisis comms.
Their job is the communication outside of those organizations to the public.
Right.
In different mediums.
Right. So
Okay.
you could see tweets from a nonprofit. That might be an intern at a political communications firm.
Yeah.
Or like any governor, like if they post a press release, it's probably not even from their office. Like it could be from their
So it's
agency.
a separate agency.
Right.
And they get hired by.
Right.
Oh.
And that community is very kind of like, it goes like White House to these shops, White House to these shops. And you, if you're lucky, you get on a campaign, you start doing comms for them, and then that person hopefully wins the presidential race. So
Gotcha.
like, for instance, I interviewed for Mayor Pete.
Oh,
like,
really?
When I was like looking for jobs to do his social media.
Oh.
And they were like, okay, you'd have to move to Indiana. And I was like, I don't
no,
know.
thanks.
I don't know this guy. This fucking guy. Like, years ago.
For Mayor Butt? No
Yeah,
thanks.
like, what? He's gay, but he's straight? This is weird. Straight gay guy. So,
Wasn't he the head of trains?
yeah, he was doing, was he Department of transportation.
Yeah. Different type of train, if you know what I mean. We'll be right back.
So I was doing that stuff, and then I was like, it took a turn because I took a job at a private equity company that owned one of these agencies. And I was told kind of like, go work here and you'll be able to network into a better gig that is like more in media. And I'm like, okay, cool. Get to this gig. And it's just awful. Like
really
toxic. It's finance. It's toxic. It's a startup. No one told me what startups were like. I thought it was a normal job. There's no HR. There's no one like looking out for you. It's just a mess.
Oh, God.
And at 22, when that happens, you start dating your boss. That's how that story ends.
Hold on.
So, yeah.
That's what happened?
So I was on this like career trajectory, and then I get really swept into this awful toxic like corporate workplace culture. The only guy who was being nice to me and giving me attention was obviously the 40-year-old Peter Pan who can't grow up. Of course, it's a textbook.
Yeah, it's a fairy tale.
The way 40-year-old men and 25-year-old women find each other, it's fairy tale.
I was talking about this recently. What do you think it is? You know, the 40-year-old man is a little weird and wants to be in denial of his aging. What is it for on the women's side? I know for you specifically, he was being nice to you. Everyone else was a dick.
Yeah, I think actually it's completely anthropological. Like women historically date for resources, and men historically date for fertility. So youth is something that signals that, indicates that.
Yeah.
So the brain goes on fire. And for women, age in the opposite signals that.
Yeah.
So
isn't it crazy? We're still cavemen and women.
We're totally
apes.
in the limbic system. Yeah. So like, I think it's this perfect like mashup, especially when these guys are like high achievers and they're really like narcissists, and they think like, oh, I'm gonna get the youngest, hottest. Like, you see these guys, they don't ever change. Like they just continue. Like you see a Dave Portnoy. I mean, I don't mean to hate on him. It's just more of a case study. It's like,
yeah, Chris is a big fan, so watch out.
Yeah, huge fan.
They keep like leveling up. They have to get younger and hotter. It's like, it's a thing.
At that point, it's not even, you're just viewing them as accessories to your narcissistic view of yourself.
Right, they're jewels. They're status symbols.
They're not people.
And it's not creepy. Like at that age gap, I think that's why it's really uncomfortable for society. It's an age gap that is fine, but it's still like, do you guys share references? Like at the end of the day. So like for me and him, he was like the eldest millennial and I was the youngest millennial. So we still had stuff to talk about. But,
hey, what generation are you again? Yay, me too.
Right. It was like we had like a lot still.
You were both
common.
on MySpace.
Yeah, like, but he like had green texts, you know, there was things that were off. He rode, you know, those like skateboards that are one wheel. He rode a one wheel at 40.
Oh no!
I know.
That should have been red flag number one.
I know. So anyway,
he's like, you want to get on the back of my one wheel?
Yeah. So I get caught up in that. I'm obsessed with him. He breaks up with me. Now I'm like, I can't work here. I can't work with the love of my life. I'm like watching the elevator, like, is he coming in? So I get a new job and it was just social media, and it was even further from what I had wanted to do. It was like research. It was like a research firm doing their social media. So I'm just like, oh my God. So then, but I met my boyfriend now at that point, at that phase. Yeah. My job after the boss. So
take it all for the best.
This is when I started to become grounded, and I was like, okay, I don't want to date someone who's really cool. I want to be really cool. And I've always been really cool, and I forgot, you know?
So
I was like, these motherfuckers. And
you found your nerd-ass boyfriend. You're like, I'm the cool one, bitch. Get in that locker.
Feel good. Like, I was like, oh, instead of chasing guys as a hobby, I'll have hobbies. So then the pandemic hit, and I was like, fuck this. Like, I've always wanted to try stand-up.
Are you still in DC at this point?
Yeah, I'm still in DC, and I'm like, okay, I lost my job, and I was like, I didn't even like that one.
Yeah.
I had always wanted to try stand-up. I'd always wanted to like experiment with other mediums because I was a writer. I was like, I want to do like humor writing or stand-up. So I just started taking like UCB classes, sketch writing.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm kind of good at this. Like people in my class are like casting me organically.
Mm.
And that's cool. Like that's what I wanted out of it. Like that
was
feels
it
good.
something that you kind of right away were like, oh, this was my path the whole time? People that I grew up with would have pegged me for this back then.
Yes and no. I think absolutely I felt aligned. And for the first time in my life, there was no friction in anything I tried to do. It was just like it felt good. And that had not been the case. I think I had struggled to get jobs. I had struggled to figure out like my major, struggled to like, I never got anything I applied to. I was that person. Like it just never worked out. And this was the first time it was like, I'm getting answers from people.
Yeah.
I'm getting emails back. Like this is working.
I think that's such a sign that you have to
so
pay
good.
attention to.
But I figured the people who were in my life from at different phases might have had different perspectives of it.
Mm.
So I think people that maybe went to elementary school with me were like, oh, she's funny. Like that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then people from college were probably like, Kitty's just like a party girl. Like, I don't know why she thinks being 20 pounds overweight is funny and drinking a lot. Like, I don't get it.
I get that exactly because I was class clown all the way up until, we'll get to it in a minute, but then I became a rapper, obviously. And then I was like, once I started doing comedy, everyone that knew me from back then was like, yeah, well, you should have been doing this whole time. And then the people that only knew me from my crazy hip hop phase, they were like, what the hell is going on?
Right.
So I know exactly. It's like you had different eras.
Yeah. And then I think that's the hardest part of doing any venture that you're worried about the fear of judgment is just like, how will the people of these walks of life perceive me?
Yes.
And then at the end of the day, you're like, well, I don't chat with them.
Yeah, and why does that matter?
I don't care. Yeah, like,
And like if fucking Steven Spielberg was like, damn, but I used to be like this. I can't direct a movie.
And it's like, why am I worried about what people from Jolinas Junior High School think of me? Like, oh my God. Like, that's fucking crazy. And these people, you know, they have tattoos like a, crazy Celtic Cross from here to here.
What the hell? Who the fuck?
No.
Who the fuck would do that?
No.
Wait, tell me more about these idiots that have these crosses.
So I was
Kitty, low lives.
This is amazing.
Thank you.
This is amazing. I was just thinking, okay, my first boyfriend, or like second, whatever, my boyfriend, he was like 16 and had a giant, that's the only reason I said I was
That's
just
Strong
thinking,
Island,
he had
baby.
a giant Celtic
That's
Cross
Strong
at
Island.
like 15 or 16.
Yeah, it's a silly.
Amazing.
It's
a
an
silly
Aaron
thing.
Dobra Deneen, like
You know
10th
what?
grade.
That's what makes me the most shameful
I
about
love yours.
these tattoos is that it's always like a 17th generation Irish American who's like, yeah, I don't know, I don't know if I have family there, and I'm like, I'm actually
You're
at
the
like
real deal.
I'm like first generation, and I'm like, I could have just left it to my face. I'm gonna get a tattoo on my forehead that says, I swear I'm Irish.
You're like, I'm the real Irish. It's so funny how that works.
That was fantastic.
We couldn't have written
was-
it any
that
better.
was-
I like yours though,
Thank you.
because you're the real deal. You can do that. If you're from Suffolk County and you've grown up in Stony Brook, New York, and you have never met an Irish person, a real Irish person, if you've never been to Ireland, and at 15 years old, you're going half sleevey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nuts.
I get it, but
Nuts.
I also feel like people that live in Ireland probably see this and are like, fucking yank.
No, but you're the real deal.
Thanks.
You really are. That's what the listener should take away.
I'm
is
the
that
real
Liam's
deal.
really Irish.
I'm the real deal.
I'm one of those halfies, one of the fake Long Island
Halfies.
type
Yeah.
Irish.
I love your joke about being half Irish, half Italian. So your dad's Italian, or your mom's Italian, and your dad never said.
And my dad never told me he loved me.
Yeah, I love that joke.
Some people get so sad with that joke
Really?
because they don't get like how not sad it is, like
I
how
think you have to be
normal
Irish,
and
maybe.
real it. Yeah, I think you really do.
Because my mom saw that joke of yours when you did my show once, and she repeated that the next day to me, I think.
Yeah, like I don't think, and my dad loves me. Can't say it.
No.
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 They can't do the words.
No. It's almost like, yeah, well, why would I have to say it if I do?
Right. Exactly.
It's a weird thing. I remember, my mom says it now because I trained her how to do it.
Yeah.
But I remember once she said thank you.
Whoa.
Now we're getting sad. So yeah, that's when I was like, you know what? I'm getting the tattoo.
Fuck yeah. Getting deep in your feels.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh
Now
God, we got on a tangent.
yeah,
I
we
don't even
gotta-
remember where we left the
We
station.
got to go on a commercial break. No,
Can you
so
tilt your mic down a little bit?
can we get a mic that'll cover my Celtic Cross tattoo?
No.
I feel so bad. I feel like
It's fine. I'm just embarrassed.
Kitty, don't feel bad because if you made him feel bad at all, you made me feel 10 times better. I
Good,
thought it
okay.
was great.
What do you mean
Good.
good? The fuck was that?
At least
It's a
someone's
good
okay.
trade. It's a good trade.
I
This
feel
is-
bad.
It's a
You
good
barely
trade.
know this guy.
I could have said any other tattoo.
No,
And
that
I
was
chose the one that I was just thinking about
No, that
that
was
happened
fantastic.
to be.
no, that was
William's
great.
tattoo.
That was fantastic. I was actually your ex-boyfriend. I forgot to tell you that. That was me.
Dude, this guy was nuts. He was one of those people that looks like 40 when they're 15.
Really?
So I think that's why I had a thing for him. You know.
I was always jealous of those guys. I still look 12. Bro, I was at so for St. Patty's Day weekend, I had cousins from Ireland over, and we went to there's a County Mayo dinner dance. I text you about
That's-
that
yeah.
because I had extra tickets, and I was going through all the Irish contacts. I text
Fuck
you,
yeah.
but it was like 3 hours before or whatever.
Yeah.
But when we got there, we're like there for like a half hour, and the security guard, who like looks like a Secret Service, comes over and he's like, "Can I see your ID?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then he was like, "Yeah, you look young. Don't worry. I looked young when I was your age too. I'm 63." And I go, "You're 63? I'm gonna have to see some ID." And then he pulled out his ID, and my cousin came over. Was like, "Do you just ID the bouncer?" And I was like, "Sometimes you got to do it.
That's so good.
Somebody's got to do it."
That's the spice of life. I live for those interactions. Like when I was a working person, I would go to World Trade Center. Like that's where our New York office was. I would go to World Trade Center and I would go through security like every time because I wasn't like someone who worked there every day. Like I would go on trips. So I got really chummy with the security guys. And, you know, because me, bada bing, bada boom.
Do you speak
hey,
their
my uncle's
language?
a cop. Like, it was easy.
You
So-
easily could be one of those security
Right,
guys.
and also, like, they're all, like, ex-cop. They're all Long
Yeah,
Island, Westchester.
yeah.
So, like, we were just totally chewing it up. And so, I, like, every day I'm taking, like, my
Slapping it
bag,
up.
like, through, and they have, like, airport-level security, you know? So I'm, like, putting my bag through the thing. So I put my bag through, and he goes, "Oh, well, what do we got here?" And he pulls out a case of bullets
What?
What?
that he put in my bag as a joke
That's
at
amazing.
the World Trade Center.
That's
Oh my
amazing.
God.
Of all places, but
That
I
is
obviously
amazing.
I was tickled. I'm like, "Oh, Joe, you motherfucker!" And he goes, he's like, "Look what I did!" And I'm like, "Don't
Those-
do it tomorrow." It was so fun.
I love that so much.
I was like, "Oh, bullets! What is this?"
Those are my
So
favorite
funny.
moments in life.
Right?
I love that so much.
Just interacting with strangers.
No,
We need to
it's-
get back to it.
It really is my favorite thing.
It's the best.
Like just like a small connection of just the fucking cashier at Key Food. Just a little joke.
When you're
say something
driving?
back. Oh, it's the best.
When you're on the banter game together,
Oh.
you're just living life. Boom, boom, boom.
I get high off of that.
Absolutely. That's a dopamine rush and a half.
It is.
It's actually so good for you to have those weak ties.
Really?
Yeah, to be socializing like every day and just having like light touches. Very good for the brain.
That's how my uncle
say.
used to be very much like that. And he would just like, he would take me to McDonald's, and at McDonald's is always the most grumpy person that hates everyone that walks in there. And then she would be like, "Well, what do you want?" And then he'd be like, "Are you married?" And she's like, no. And he's like, "I think I saw you on Dancing with the Stars last night." And she's like, "What? No, that wasn't me." And then he would just like flirt with all these just like
He'd crack
angry.
'em.
Yeah. And then be like, "Oh, wow, that's a fun way to live." And then they would give him all this free shit. I'm like, this is a great way to live.
I love that. I love flirting with service.
Flirting with service is the best.
Flirting with service. You
Yeah.
get more. You get more when you flirt with service.
I'm going to flirt with service at Ulta after this.
Yeah. You got to get free shit.
Okay, so you are taking UCB classes. It's the pandemic's over at this point, right?
No, now it like just started.
Just started.
Just started. So then I'm in DC. I'm doing the UCB classes. I'm
Doing
like,
the
okay,
UCBs.
this is clicking. Move to New York. So I'm still unemployed.
Pre-COVID, moved to New York.
No, still in COVID. So this is like from like April 2020 to like December 2020. So I like moved
So you got those
to New York
COVID
in
rates.
September. Yeah. And then I got on stage in like December 2020.
Hell yeah.
After like a few months of like, you know, working myself up for it.
Hell yeah.
And then I was like, oh, this is it.
You
This
knew
is
right away.
it. Yeah. I was like, oh God, I really like it.
What was that first time? Where was it?
Tiny covered roof.
Tiny covered
December,
roof.
freezing. My college friends came to watch me, which was so sweet. I'm in a parka and Uggs, like so cold. But it's funny because like the first time you do it is like so your real style, you know, like, or at least that was for me. Like if I go back and watch the tape of it, it's like, oh, I kind of ended up back there.
Yeah.
Like I definitely had like
that's
my
interesting.
wilderness years, and I'm now back to I think how I started, which was like screaming and like
Oh, really?
being a little
That's
crazy.
interesting. I wonder if that's the case for a lot of people.
I've heard that anecdotally, but
Mm.
I'm not sure. I haven't done the data.
Very interesting. And
Yeah.
then you're just obsessed right away. It's clicked.
Then I hit the ground running.
Did it go well your first time, by the
It
way?
did.
Nice.
It went well. And also it didn't matter because it was when we were masking outside. So you couldn't hear laughter. You couldn't see it.
And it still felt that good to you?
Yeah, like I still felt like the energy and it
Oh.
still felt good. So I'm like, this is it.
Interesting.
And then I started doing Twitter for Tiny Cupboard.
What?
Yeah. Because I was like,
How did that happen?
I don't have a job. Let me try to like ask them, hey, can I kind of hang out here, do the Twitter
Nice.
network? And that gave me like the sense of belonging to hang out there and meet people and start to like understand, do I really want to do this? Because if
Yeah.
I'm going to do it, it's going to be balls to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like talk to people and they're either like, don't fucking do it. You know, they're like, don't give your life to this. And after you hear that enough and it still doesn't deter you,
Yeah.
you're
After
like,
you
I gotta
see
do it.
the sad old man that's talking about offing himself at the open mic, and you're like, yeah, but that won't be me.
Right. But luckily it was like I saw the darkest part of stand-up comedy and I still
Yeah.
wanted to do it.
Yeah, that is
So
nuts.
it was all up from there. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
No masks. We're inside. Like, it's only gotten better and better. Whereas for everyone else, they were pissed about the pandemic. So they came back bitter. They're like, I used to have everything. My club closed. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Like, you're a new sparkly toy, and I took time off, and I didn't think anyone would be doing it.
And in a way, you guys have kind of evened out because they've taken so much time off and you're just getting there.
Right.
And they're probably like, who is this? Why is she so positive and
I
happy to
snuck
be here?
in because some people thought I had been there before. So I think that helped me.
That is key.
So they were like, oh, she must have been here. We just didn't
Yeah.
notice. She just, because she's one of the few outside now.
Yeah.
So I think I got lucky in the beginning.
But that also goes back to your vibe, your familiar vibe. And that's kind of always my goal with anything I dip my toe into. I want to feel like, not to trick people, but you just want to feel like, oh yeah, well he was been here for a while. It's like, oh, I just got here.
Right.
That's a good omen, I think.
100%.
So then just hitting the mics, doing their Twitter and hanging out there and being willing to do that also shows that, okay, this is something you're very serious about
Yeah.
and want to really do.
And it was good because I'm not socially anxious, but I definitely get, my bouts of being shy. And with
I don't believe you.
stand-up, I really, in the beginning, felt very socially anxious about everything.
I did
Because
too,
it's
actually.
like a bunch of dudes, and I didn't realize, I thought it was me. They just are bitter against all women. And I'm like, oh, it wasn't, I shouldn't take this personally. They're pissed because they're not getting booked and I'm getting booked.
Yeah.
And like, there is a certain amount of like, there's less women for more spots. And like the white guys there's more of them competing for less spots. Like, or
I guess, but
the math is weird.
I hate that people even think like that.
I know. It's not good.
I know they do. I know that's an active thing, but it's just like, you're just
Right.
making yourself miserable. Just
Right.
be.
Right. Just be happy. But it creates a thirst and an
Yeah.
energy that's like they're bitter
Yeah.
and they're pissed and they've been walking around with a backpack for 10 years.
Yeah.
And I just walked in and got a spot on the show that they've been DMing this guy for 6 months.
And you're authentically happy.
Right. And I walk in like, I have a day job. And they're like, an in-unit washer dryer. And they're like, what the fuck? I've been a barista and I've donated my entire sack to this. Like, and you're like, oh my God, like you've got to take that up with God.
Yeah.
You've got to take that up with the big guy. That's not,
Oh,
I can't do anything. But I really internalized that. And I thought it was me.
I had not a similar experience. I know it's harder for women. LA.
Woo!
Hey, you guys ever notice
Liam
women
saving the world, making women stuff about him? Woo!
Women
Keep going,
kinda-
Liam.
women have it hard sometimes.
Wow, isn't he so great, Kitty? Just don't even talk for the rest of it. We're just gonna
Wow.
celebrate Liam.
Guys, do you ever see a guy like this?
Whoa!
You have her mic on? No, take that off. What?
Why is she fucking talking?
No, but it is a thing where like I was so insecure when I first started too, and I always took everything personal. I was like, that guy doesn't like me. That guy doesn't like me. That guy doesn't like me. And I would be like, if someone wasn't funny to me, I'd be like, well, I'm just a fucking idiot. I don't get it. And now looking back, I'm like, no, they're just all autistic.
Right. And it brings you so much peace.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, everyone's so self-absorbed. No one is thinking of me.
Yeah.
Like I really thought everyone else was like had their head up and was like watching everyone. No.
Yeah.
They're in their own world. No one fucking cares.
Yep.
No one knows your name even. No one.
Same. I mean, I have that same realization recently. I'm trying to get better at it with just life in general. I just like no one is thinking about you ever.
Ever.
Like the fucking guy who just beeped at you, or like doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
Right.
No one cares.
Even when I talk about other people, I don't think about them. I'm
Yeah.
just talking shit for fun.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to fill the time.
We're just kikiing.
Right. We're just geeking. I don't give it any brain space.
Yeah. Same.
I'm like, oh, so and so broke up. So, okay, I don't care.
And then when you have that experience when someone's like, hey, what the hell? You didn't tell me about this thing. And I'm just like, oh, it was nothing personal. I didn't think of it. I'm sorry. But then I'm like, yeah, everyone who has ever had that with me where they don't tell me about something, yeah, no, they just forgot. That's
Right.
not, everything's good.
Right. It's
Life
all
is
good.
fun.
It's also, it sucks that our inbox is DMs because I think if it was emails, it would feel differently. Like if you were shooting an email and it just never got answered, you're like, okay, fuck that. But like a message feels really personal.
It does.
And so I think there's a lot more attached. Like you didn't fucking answer me.
It
Instead of at work where it's
does.
like resurfacing this.
Yeah.
And instead it's like, okay, I guess they fucking hate me and I'm just going to
Yeah.
crawl into a hole and die.
Yeah. And then you forget to answer someone. You're like, no,
Right.
everything's fine.
And you're like, oh, it's not personal at all.
Yeah.
It's truly
Nothing is personal.
Nothing. So helpful.
Fantastic. Well, anyway, I will say I'm not to skip over your 3 years in the comedy scene, but you're someone that's really cool to see. Like you shoot up on social. I didn't mean to do the Elon, but I was just I was just putting my heart out to.
I almost, I got closer to,
Sorry. Well, all
Jesus.
right. Let's get back to
Woo.
let's get back to Spencer's dildo's a hot topic. But it's been really cool, and I feel like you're one of those people that just like everyone's. If you don't like Kitty Reynolds, I don't trust you, motherfucker.
Oh.
But everyone, I'm sure you got some haters in the
Totally.
but I feel like so many people are like, oh, it's so cool that Kitty is like shooting up because also you kind of just always had the same vibe and like style of like unique, like kind of like you were doing these weird videos, and I say weird as a compliment because that's my favorite. And you just like kept doing them, and that took off. And that's so cool to see because it's not like you were like, all right, let me hop on this trend or da 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 da. It's like no, you were just making stuff you wanted to make,
Yeah.
and then people gravitated towards it, and then you built up this following. It's awesome.
And I will say it was somewhat according to plan because like
Ah.
I did a lot of like, I'm obsessed with like self-help stuff and like I do a lot of Audible books and I like to just learn. And when I was researching comedy and like listening to tons of podcasts, whatever, I was like, okay, what seems to be the trend here is like authenticity, whether it's stand-up, social media, music, even like anything creative, writing. If you are authentic, there will be a magnetism to you that is out of your control. And so I was like, okay, like let me just try to actually buy into that. Way easier said than done. Because when you start posting random bullshit that you think is funny, people are like, are you manic? Are you okay? They're like, genuinely, are you okay?
Did you have a mental block with it at first where you were like, this is too weird. I don't want to put it out there. No one gets this except me and maybe my immediate friends.
Yeah, I think the whole time I was self-conscious of it from the beginning. But I was like, this is a part of my mission. I was like, this is a part of my bigger goal. So fuck them. Like, I'll withstand that fear of judgment and this will get better. Also, I had the luxury of like, I did a lot of my experimenting on TikTok before I had any followers. I would just post like 3 times a day, wouldn't care about engagement, wouldn't care about anything, just got used to it.
Yeah.
So I built a style. And then when I got the balls to post on Instagram, I was able to copy and paste my favorite parts of my style. So it became like an archive of my favorite shit instead of what it is for a lot of people now. Instagram is their sketch pad, their doodle board. And for me, that was TikTok. So I got it kind of out of the way. And then by the time it started to build, it looked like it was curated to be this like weird, patchy thing.
Yeah.
But it was just the style that kind of formed from like, if I take my favorite piece of this TikTok video and just condense that, let me make that 7 seconds and experiment with it.
Did you build up a following on TikTok in that time?
Probably 5K or so, nothing crazy. I had one post that went viral. It got like 2 million views. It was like uncut gems in that trend.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and I got really scared and I didn't post for like 3 months.
Why?
Because I got hate. And the first time you get it, it's like so scary.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking bots and children, literally. So who cares?
Yeah, they're like sending nudes and stuff.
Right. And they're like, fuck you, die. Like, yeah, that's all they're doing. They're literally like, fuck you.
I don't know if I'm going to come up in this episode. All right, you brought up. All right,
Hopefully.
He just starts blaming people.
you
He's
know
like,
how
"You're
women
the
are.
one."
You know how these broads are.
You know, they're just sluts,
I
man.
have sisters and a single mom.
People should know that.
I go to Ulta.
You are an ally, though.
Thank you.
People should know, like, he's an authentic ally. He's not value signaling.
Values. Is it value or virtue?
I think both.
Hell
I've
yeah.
heard both.
I'm gonna
and
start
I think
doing
they
that.
both mean the same thing.
All right.
So go off, King.
All right. Sorry. So
What was I saying?
it wasn't as much as, okay, you built up this huge following. It was more you got the reps in of making stuff that you like to make and then condensing it.
Yeah, and then being like, ooh, that's the stuff I want to show people. That's good stuff. So I started to build my style, similar to stand-up. Like, in the beginning, you're like, I don't even know about that. That is just the best I can give.
Yeah.
And then over time, you're like, okay, I'll put this on YouTube. That was good. That kind of slaps. Okay, Mom and Dad, you can see me live. Like, okay. Like, so I had a little bit of confidence where I'm like, okay, this isn't going to be super embarrassing. I'll start posting it on Instagram. And then I'm like, look, okay, if people think I'm crazy, that sucks for them. I know I'm not. I go to therapy. Like, I have a lot of supervisors with me.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go. And if people judge me, who cares? And
then did you have a strategy at that point? Were you like, okay, this is the type of video or this is the type of style? Like, was it conscious or was it still just like, I'm just going to make shit I think is funny in the moment?
it was just the latter. It was just throwing spaghetti at the wall. And always my litmus test is always if it makes me laugh out loud, me. Not, like, I'll have my boyfriend watch and be like, do you laugh? And I'll watch him. And if he doesn't laugh authentically, I'm like, no, okay, no, then I'm not posting it. But yep, it's always been, if it makes me laugh, it gets posted. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Even if I think it's clever or like interesting, if I'm not actually LOLing at it, I'm like, okay, let's save it. We can come back to it another day. And sometimes I'll find it's funny 2 months later. And I've had viral posts of things that I recorded a year ago and sat on because I just didn't think it was funny when I filmed it. And then I was going through on a plane or something and I'm like,
Yo, this girl fun.
She cooked on his. So that's like,
I feel like that's a pretty common thing because I never want to watch myself, much like my audience. But so right away after I make something, I'm like, ugh, gross, get this out of here. And then maybe like weeks later, I'll be like, oh, it's pretty good. So how do you even go about that? Or like, do you have that yourself where you're like,
I don't watch it back unless, like, so what I'll do, my process is I record all the time. Anytime I get a thought, in the similar way that you would write it down. Like, I do that when it's a clear stand-up joke, but I just record on Snapchat. Like, I just take Snapchat and I just fucking go crazy because something about Snapchat feels more casual.
it feels more like unhinged.
Yeah, and like holding down the button, I don't know. And then I save it in there. And then what I like about that too is then like the year later it'll give me it as a memory, so I can go back and like every day I have a fun new batch of stuff that I forgot about from last year's day.
Oh wow.
So I'm like, oh, what was I fucking on March 1st, 2023 and 2024? But that's really fun.
That's awesome.
Because I do have a hard time going back and watching. So it's good when it's forced to me. So then I'll watch whatever's in there, whatever in the tank. And usually I'll hate it. And I'm like, oh, this still isn't funny. Delete. But sometimes I'm like, oh, there's a little diamond in that rough.
Yeah.
And then I'll post it. And if it makes me actually LOL.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because you have such a specific, like, distinctive style now.
Thank you.
Where I feel like it's like, oh, I would never have guessed this, even though I know like how your style is now, and it's like, oh, classic Kitty Reynolds right here.
Also, my thing too was I wanted to buck. And sorry, I'm just jerking myself this whole podcast.
Really slopping it up.
I really am. The thing that I wanted to do was the big advice was always like, when you find what you're good at, keep doing it. And just like keep doing it and do it over and over. And that works. That really works for people. I hate that.
Me too.
When I'm scrolling someone's feed and every video looks the same, I'm zoned out. I'm gone. If I look at your feed, it's all the same text in the same fucking place. I want to kill myself.
Yeah.
So like, I never wanted my feed to be that even and uniform. And I always wanted it to be like something that would be weird or different than the thing you watched before it. But have some sort of flow where it's like, oh, this is just a pillar of her content that I recognize, but it's not a video that I've seen.
There's some through line, but it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too. And I do feel like that is what works for a lot of people, to just do the same exact thing, but I'm like, I would.
Right, and they get tons of followers for it.
Yeah.
It really is effective.
But then you're just known for that one thing.
Right, and then what you'll see is people who get big really quickly, let's say on TikTok, like for a trend or like an accent or a character, something specific.
Chris does a lot of like Asian acccents.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah, really big.
Yep.
People love that.
Sorry, keep going.
That is so funny. When they do that, like they'll get really, if they're neat with it, if they're clean, they'll get a ton of brand deals really quickly. And that's really great. But people don't want a character for that long.
Yeah.
Like you only need a few videos and then you can go back and watch them. It's like a TV show. Like Tony Soprano didn't need to be on for 25 years doing a uniquely different episode. Like he lives in my memory and it's great. Like so I've had the confidence of like, no, my Italian stuff lives in social media history. I don't have to keep fucking reminding people with some perfect sketch every week that's like this character. Oh, I gotta find a way to rebundle this character.
Yeah.
Okay, no. If it slips out when I'm goofing off, okay, I tell my boyfriend to record me or I put the camera on myself. But I don't like schedule. I don't have like I gotta post this, I gotta post that. Kill me if I ever get there. Also, I don't want to be creator. I want to be a comedian. If I was trying to be a creator, maybe I'd have a different outlook.
Yes.
But for me, I'm building a brand that would help me sell tickets. I'm not just trying to get brand deals from videos.
Yeah.
So it's like I have something way more fragile. I can't just pummel people with this one thing just to like amp up engagement. I'm trying to build a relationship with them over time where it's a little bit more like William Dafoe instead of, let's say, like Timothy Chalamet. Because William Dafoe doesn't work that much, but we love him and we'll die for him. Yeah. But Timothy Chalamet, he's awesome. He's overexposed. I'm gonna be hitting my head against the wall if he's still playing Bob Dylan in 5 years.
Yeah.
No shade to him, brilliant actor.
Also, did you watch that movie? Pretty good.
I didn't. I heard it was good.
He's pretty good.
He's good.
Yeah, he's good.
He's great.
But I get what you mean. And I feel like the people that would advise that, they're usually not creatives. Sometimes it's probably like people that are fans of yours that are like, keep doing that, keep doing that. Much like how a fan of The Sopranos might be like, they should do 5 more seasons. Like, no. You don't, if the fans were in charge of all that stuff, then you would burn it to the ground.
Right, then you get Dance Party Wolverine, whatever the fuck that was. If we're going off data, you're getting action, thriller, comedy, dance movie.
Yeah.
So I have to go with me and my gut. And also, too, I didn't want to be a completely Italian creator. because
You wouldn't even want to be a completely Italian.
Am I right? Am I right, boys?
I mean,
So that was the thing too. And sorry, I'm so talking your guys' ears off.
no,
and being
this
annoying.
is great.
But part of my mission with the Italian stuff was showing the growth in Italian Americans over time. And like a lot of us are very like whitewashed and very like, I wear Warby Parker, right? Like I still have my Long Island blood in me, but like I went to fucking school and like I fucking know Marx and Durkheim and like, so
But you're still saying fucking in every sentence.
right, it's still there. So I feel like over time I've wanted to show the nuance of Italian Americans. It's not all Jersey Shore, and we love that part of us, and we still think we're the best people in the world.
Yeah.
You know? But
Don't get me started.
there's a thing of like, I wanted to make light of the fact of like, we know we're the joke. We know why we're the joke, and I'm going to creatively manipulate that so that I can show you that I know all of this.
Yeah.
Where, like, I think with any new generation that comes to the country, their narrative is completely dictated by the groups around them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now, over 100 years, Italians, Irish, Jewish people, now we're the creators of media, and we're able to actually show authentic experience.
Yeah.
And so you're seeing better movies and TV about these groups. And I'm not saying we're the most underserved in media, absolutely not. But I think class is the piece of that people don't want to talk about. Like
yes.
Italians and Irish are seen as lower class, especially in the tri-state area. It's a huge part of like our culture.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of us are those things.
Yeah.
And a lot of us are super multidimensional. And like, that's the fun of us getting to be on stage now and getting to be like, no, I'm an Italian, but I'm the generation after Sebastian Maniscalco.
Yes.
You know, it's
there's
like,
a million subgenres to it.
yeah, you're seeing these iterations, and you're also seeing this with Latinx communities as well, as they have been in this country longer and longer and longer, all groups, as they assimilate into culture and get to use culture for their own benefit. I've wanted to be specific about like, I don't want to be stereotypical. I want
Yeah.
to make fun of stereotypes,
Yeah.
but I'm no fucking joke. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm not a character.
Yeah.
And so I think like I always wanted to have my actual voice, which comes off oftentimes as a different character, but like my authentic voice when I'm just kind of mouthing off and I'm stoned and I'm just like goofing off in my house. I wanted that too. Because it's like, oh, she can do this Italian thing, but she's like a person who critically thinks and is like
Yes.
beyond this, like she's just an Italian girl from Long Island
Yeah.
who makes Italian videos.
Do you feel like there were people that would see your Italian videos and think like, well, that's pretty much who she is?
Yeah, especially if you only see one or two. Maybe you think that's actually me and not a character.
Because to be fair, there are people on Instagram who I think do something similar, not even to be funny, and that's who they are.
Right. And people love them
Yes.
in the same way because it's comforting. It's nostalgic.
Yeah.
We love, like, I love the sounds of my aunts and uncles
Yeah.
and my grandparents and like that. I love it. And like, that's why I like watching creators sometimes who do like those accents because it's just so like,
Makes you feel at home. Yeah.
yes. And that's what the big comments are. The ones that make me happy are like, you made me think of my mom or my aunt and like, it, you know, you made my day. Like, that's the stuff that I love. That's why I'm doing it. Not to be like, haha, Italians are dumb. It's like, no, we share this culture together
Yeah.
and we can use it. It's ours. If you think it's cool too, if you think it's funny, awesome. Give me a like, shoot me a comment.
Hell yeah.
Support Italian Americans.
Hell
but
yeah.
this
Actually,
is for us.
Can you take that out? We don't really support Italians on this
Support
podcast.
Irish Americans.
Yeah, thank you.
Which that's the thing we have to try to do.
Can I tell you my beef with
Go.
the Italians?
Yeah.
And this isn't
Go off. This is safe space.
This isn't even specific to. I think a lot of cultures do this, and I think it's so funny. But I just because I grew up around a lot of Italians, I feel like Italian people and a lot of my Dominican friends will do this too, where it's like, oh. My mom's making dinner. Classic Italian. And I'm like, I think everyone's mom made dinner. Oh, you know you're Italian if you used to leave the key under the mat and then open. Like, no, I think everyone kind of did that. Or like, we used to wake up and before we would go to school, we would always eat breakfast. Real Italian
We
shit
love
right there.
coffee. We're not like the other guys. We love bread. Yeah, Italians, we think we're unique in so many ways because we don't socialize with other people. So we don't really know.
To be fair, a lot of groups are like that, especially that when you first come over, a lot of groups, they're cliquish.
Yeah.
But just Irish people will never talk about themselves.
Sociology. Yeah. I think Italians are like, yeah, we think we're unique because I always joke Italians don't have friends because we have cousins. Like we just, like I didn't meet like a different person until I went to school. I'm like, who are these motherfuckers? Like
What the hell, Polish?
Yeah, I'm like, wait, they're not Italian? I truly thought like a lot of people were Jewish. Like I thought it was like, yeah, you're either Catholic or Jewish. Like, because that's just Long Island. Like,
Yeah.
I went to 10 bar mitzvahs. Like, I genuinely thought you were Irish, Italian, or Jewish. I was like, wait. I got to school, I was like, you're Polish? I was like, what is that? What?
Ew.
What the fuck? Like, I knew one Greek person, so I knew they existed. But like, you know.
And that was
figuring out
exotic.
The Protestants, I was
Yeah.
like, a wasp
exactly.
in real life?
Oh,
I'm like, I've only heard about you
Wasp.
in media. A debutante.
Shout out to a debutante.
A real debutante.
Well, not to toot my own horn, but I think that's what the beauty of growing up in Queens is. You see so many different people right away.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm like, when I have kids, I want them to live in Queens.
I was thinking that too.
Really?
Because I really like the kids that I see growing. I like the kids I see growing up. in Queens.
All right.
Could I make this any worse?
All right. As long as they don't have flip phones.
I see the kids. Look, I see the
I watch the
kids.
kids.
I watch the kids.
We love the kids.
love the kids.
Great kids. Terrific kids. We say, why are you going to recess? We need to build a wall around the yard.
Well, you got a good drum.
Oh, thanks.
Build a wall around the yard. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, the kids
You
in
love
Queens,
kids.
they still have a play-based childhood, which I'm sure you guys have heard. This is what's
Play-based.
ruining kids. The absence of a play-based childhood, which is like hanging around in the neighborhood with the gang,
With the gang,
the
with
kids
the
in the
squad.
neighborhood playing manhunt, running around playing kickball. That's what's hurting kids, like mentally, socially, emotionally. So the kids that I see in Queens, those little shits run around the city bikes. Yeah,
I love it.
they're like playing basketball. They're
love it.
having fun.
You know what I saw the other day? I was walking from a show and I saw these kids. They were probably like 12 or 13, and they had a TV in the street and they threw it on the street and they were all jumping on it. And my first thought to this was, wow, it's so cool that they're outside playing.
Right.
I
Yes.
was like, they're not at home on the iPad.
It makes me so happy. Like when these kids in my neighborhood, this looks so bad for me that we keep getting on the kid topic. But like there was a snowball fight in my neighborhood and I was like almost started tearing up. I was like, oh,
I get what you mean, though.
God bless them. Like, oh God, these kids. These kids in the snowball fights.
This is where Grandma Kitty comes out.
This is where I age. And then I threw snowballs and that's where I become a kid again.
You really are. You're not half Italian, half Irish. You're half old lady, half little boy.
Like next door we have kids. Truly, next door we have kids. Again,
You just
we
keep them
gotta get on a
there.
different
Like,
topic.
what's the lock
Someone-
system?
Next door, I'll hear them playing. They run up and down the stairs, and I'm like,
It's-
thank God.
You know what? Also, just speaking on this kid topic.
Yeah.
Speaking on this hot kid topic. Well, that one we will take out. You know what a pet peeve of mine is? When adults get annoyed at other people's kids.
Yeah.
I was walking
cares?
in a story the other day, and this kid was like crying super loud crossing the street, and this guy walking goes, "Shut that kid up!" And I was like, "What the fuck? It's a kid. Let him do whatever." Or like when people get mad on airplanes. I'm like, obviously it's annoying, but like, how annoying do you think it is for the parent right now?
Right. They're
That
so embarrassed.
That's like my pet peeve. I'm like, grow up.
Right. I really don't like that. On the plane, it's like they have to get wherever they're going. I'm sure they didn't do this for their fucking health.
Yeah. Do you not think like, oh, imagine I had a kid on this flight right now? That'd be terrible.
Right. And also, as I'm nearing 30, I do put myself in that position. You know, as I entertain the idea of kids and whatnot, I'm like, oh my God.
You think you want kids?
I do think so. I go back and forth every day.
I'm heavy on the when it happens, it happens. If it does, if it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm thinking like 35.
That's a good.
Hopefully, I'm not running the clock too hard, but
I think these days that's pretty standard.
that's
I think
fair, right?
it's 2016.
Gives me 5 more years to like be my own self
Yeah.
without some motherfucker. And then
I can't wait till you have a kid and you're like, this fucking guy over here, this motherfucker.
This poor kid.
Slapping it up.
I don't think I'll tell anyone. Like, it'll be one of those things, like, no one
won't tell
knows.
anyone?
Like, yeah, like, I just will do it discreetly. Like, you'll just see front-facing videos for, like, 9 months. I'll just never have my stomach in it. And then I'm like, hey, guys, look at this little
You
guy.
believe this fucking guy?
Yeah, look at little me.
Oh, I can't wait. And thank you for coming. I appreciate this.
Thanks for
This was
having
a lot of
me.
fun. I had fun. Did you have fun?
I had fun. I feel like I was so vapid. I feel like we didn't get deep into topics.
Really?
Yeah.
I think we got pretty deep.
Can we talk about your video of critiquing porches in Queens?
Oh, with Chris Barnes?
That's my shit.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Another one that just wants her to keep doing the Italian stuff.
Yeah.
She's going to
Just-
do
Dance
different
monkey.
things.
Yeah.
Can you do the voice for us?
That video was so fun. I mean, I love working with Chris because he has everything I don't. He like will write a script. He'll be like, let's do it at this time.
Yeah.
Like he's an executor. I will have an idea and it will wash away into the ether. And he's like, no, let's do this at 4:00 tomorrow. So we got together and he's like, yeah, let's just critique the front porches.
It's amazing.
Let's just do it.
That's great.
It was so fun.
You-
I love
I-
working with him.
That's a great balance too. I
Yeah.
get what you mean. I'm bad at the execution
Yeah.
too. So it's important to find someone.
Yeah, there needs to be balance with that.
Where was that, Astoria?
Yeah.
Nice.
And everyone, it's funny, people comment thinking it's their borough, but every borough looks like that. Like,
Yeah.
That's so funny.
yeah, out of
Yeah.
context, it looks like everything.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Oh, we do have some topics we didn't cover. We do a segment called Guilty Conscious because I'm constantly feeling guilty about everything except
Like
for
kids.
Yeah, I feel guilty
That
about
Catholic guilt.
the kid talk.
Yeah. We'll repent.
I don't feel guilty about the time I said Chris does Asian accents on TikTok, but
Yeah.
that's I'm okay with.
Because that's
But-
my thing to be guilty about.
Yeah,
Right,
that's on him.
Your cross to bear. That's
Do you have something you're feeling guilty about currently? You seem very, very zen and mentally healthy.
I've been keeping my side of the street clean. But I will say one thing I feel guilty about, the tattoo joke.
No,
I
don't
think
do
that
that.
definitely is on there.
You're absolved.
Thank you. And then 2, do I have anything I really feel guilty about?
Because I could
Honestly,
tell
I
even
feel cleared.
you're pretty evolved, but I could tell we're kind of cut from the same cloth of the guilt.
Oh yeah. I really just started like letting go of the Catholic guilt only in the past like year or so. It's been a tough road.
Mm.
I feel a lot of shame and guilt, but with life, going through life, it's like, fuck this. I can't feel guilty every day.
True, but you
It's
did
getting
really hurt my
exhausting.
feelings about the tattoo.
I
thing.
did.
So you should feel
So I
guilty
feel
about that.
guilty.
You should. I'm not bringing this up so that you feel even more guilty, but this is how I know you and me are the same because you texted me and you were like, I didn't buy you a drink and you bought me a drink. Oh my God. And I'm like, bro, that's
I
nothing.
felt so bad.
Yeah. And I was like, I could tell you felt bad. I'm like, no, stop it.
I overthink the little things. That's where like the
Yeah,
other
me
day I
too.
took shrooms at like a party and then I left like 30 minutes later and I'm like, how rude of me to take the shrooms that could have been given to a more active party goer. Someone who's gonna be there past the trip.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just enjoying it in the Uber alone. What an awful
that does sound
person
awesome,
to
though.
invite to a party. It was
That
so,
does
it was so
sound
much
great.
fun.
It's funny that I don't think is as bad, but like if you put that to something else and someone was just like, yeah, I'm going to take this 6-pack of beer to go. And I'll see you.
Yeah.
That would be terrible. But I don't think acid, I think that's still fun.
Yeah.
I also am a firm believer of when it comes to like you're out drinking or partying or whatever, you can't judge anyone on when or how they leave. If I'm with a group and someone just disappears and I'm like, hey, where the hell did you go? And they're like, yeah, I'm home. I'm like, yeah.
So true. And those are the people that I like being around.
Yes.
People who don't put, a foot on my neck for Irish exiting, Irish
Yes.
goodbying, whatever. Like, I don't want to be judged for that. That's my style. I need to be home smoking a bowl, watching Dateline. And I know in my heart when that needs to happen.
Yes.
And I don't like when people get in my way.
When you're going out, you're going into battle. You have to know that there are no rules in terms of everyone's getting out safely. That's all that matters.
Absolutely.
We're all just there for the fight.
Right. For the thrill of it
You
all.
had to peace out. Cool. I'll
Right.
see you next time.
Right. So, like, hopefully you recharge
Yes.
and you give us what you need to next time.
Yes.
You work that out.
Yes.
You work that out on your own time. No judgment here. I'm not clocking you.
Irish goodbye. I respect it. What I will say is you have to say hello.
You do.
That's my.
You do have to say hello.
If you don't say hello, you're done.
Sometimes I think I get in trouble because I think people don't know me. Like I think, oh, they won't remember me or they won't recognize me, so I don't give the hello. And then they're like thinking I'm rude and I'm being insecure.
Yeah, I could see that.
But I think that's a thing that everyone deals with.
Yeah, especially you meet so many people.
We meet so many people.
I get it.
Oh my God. At the stand, I saw Andrew Dice Clay and he was standing alone. And I went up to him because I was like tipsy. And I'm usually so cool with the celebs. Like I really am I keep my cool. I'm normal. I treat them normal. But ADC, I went right up to him. I was like, I love you, and I know that you're the first comic to like do Madison Square Garden, and I'm gonna play your daughter like in a movie one day. And he was like in his fedora. He's like, can you just stop talking?
Really?
Like, no, he was really sweet, and he was actually really kind, and
He's
he
like,
knew
big
I was
shot, playing my daughter.
Yeah, no, and he's like, he knew I was so nervous, and so he was like, you want a picture? Like,
That's awesome.
You can tell now
That's
when
also
they're
his
like,
bit, though.
Dude, that
You
is
know
the
that bit
best
that he
thing.
does?
no,
It's not. He wasn't doing a bit on you. Don't worry.
I was
but
like, oh my God.
have you been
Am I
following
that dumb?
his TikTok?
no, I really don't
You
follow him.
have to. You
he
have
goes
to.
around to random people on like the Upper East Side and like secretly films it, and he's just like, "So, you the one that wanted a picture?" And
It's
they're like, they have
amazing.
no idea who he is.
It's amazing.
He's
That's
just going,
so good.
and then he's like, Darlene, and she's like, no, not me. He's like, oh, I thought you were the big fan. You wanted the picture. That's so funny that he did it to
Talk
you.
about a lesson in authenticity. ADC.
Yes.
He has been himself for a very long time. We haven't fallen out of love with him. And he actually was even authentic in a character.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, no, this is still kind of me. I'm just like cloaking it in something that's a little bit more caricaturish.
Yes.
But like that, he is.
Obviously, it's exaggerated like anything
Right.
on any stage ever.
Right.
But yeah.
But he's authentically him. And I think that's what has made him so compelling.
Yeah.
And in A Star Is Born, I mean, I just can't wait till he does more acting
He's
shit.
great.
He's so fucking good.
You seen him in Entourage?
Did I? No.
He was
I was
great.
never a big Entourage girly.
All right.
I think that's
Why is that funny?
the male algorithm.
I think is it.
Literally, we were talking about this today.
Yeah.
What?
Really, really?
I'm talking about it. I've never seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
Entourage specifically.
Wait, you have seen it and he hasn't?
I have seen it.
Yeah.
You would think it'd be the opposite.
You'd think.
I was in Entourage.
So you'd think. Yeah. Also, the thing with ADC, and we'll stop after this. I keep talking.
No,
The
wait.
coffee gets me, guys.
I know-
To the moon. You see how slow I'm going, and I'm like,
Let me ask you something real quick about the coffee. Why are you anti-cold brew, pro iced coffee?
oh, I just don't like the flavor.
Really?
Yeah, it's a little gasoline-y. And to me, it feels like the suits served us cold brew. They were like, hey, idiots, you like a lot of caffeine. You don't care about the flavor. You're just a bunch of drug addicts. Here you go. And it's like, we're not that dumb.
I am.
You are?
I
You
am.
like cold brew?
I don't really care about the flavor. I just need as much caffeine as possible. I'm
Wow.
that dumb.
Well, the flavor is, like,
This-
you ever go to a deli, like a good old-fashioned deli, and get an iced coffee? It's so much better.
Yeah.
It changes things.
And I do like a nice oat milk latte,
Oh, that's different. Different category.
but I just need whatever the strongest.
Yeah.
I just need it.
At one point in my life, I was doing Starbucks cold brew, no ice, no water, because they add water to like
They add
dilute
water?
it. So I was going
Oh yeah.
full cocaine. I was like, why am I anxious? Why is something wrong? Like,
What's going on?
why does everything feel wrong all day? Yeah.
I love that video of yours where you're like, first sip, and I'm already feeling chatty.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this. That was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it.
That was so fun.
Hell yeah.
Yay! Woo!
Kitty Reynolds, if you don't mind.
Woo! Oh my God, my nicotine gum was here the whole time.
Oh.